Let's go. Listen, we at Convos with Cam, episode 6. It's up. Listen, it's up. And today we got a special one. The first female on Convos with Cam. Shout out to Wendy, the coach. Listen, Wendy's killing it right now. And I definitely wanted to bring her on, highlight what she's doing. And I think a lot more females, need to, be tapped in and just see what success looks like, from. Yeah, shout out to the gang. Shout out everybody joining. What's good, Andy? I see ya. I see ya. Nikki, what's up? Let me see. It's lit.
What's going on, boss man? How are you?
Chilling. Highly blessed. Highly favored and super blessed. How you doing today? How was your Monday?
It was pretty busy, very unexpected. I was actually, it was super lit. I was looking at some offices out here in Miami because we're about to move into a bigger office, so that's a good taste.
God did.
So far, God did.
God did. Nah, that's what's up. Yo, shout out to everybody joining. Shout out to everybody joining. Then we got a squad. Wendy came up.
You know.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So yeah, listen, I like to have convos with Cam every Monday. I definitely like to highlight entrepreneurs. I know we spoke briefly, last week about the situation, but what's cool and I think what's dope is that like we don't really know each other, you know what I'm saying? But it's more of like a respect factor. Because listen, I see you doing your thing, you see me doing my thing, and I definitely, like I mentioned, when I first started, I've had males on this, platform, and I definitely, when we spoke, I'm like, yo, damn, I should definitely have Wendy on. Especially because of the fact that one, you're doing your thing and it's like super dope what you're doing, and two, I think a lot more females need to see females like you, right? I think a lot of them may feel like they don't have what it takes, or they do, but a little shy about what they got going on and stuff like that. So to see you and kind of hear your story that we're going to get into, I feel like they could definitely be inspired, right? So I definitely want to go into your journey. Where you from again? You said you're in Miami?
Miami, Florida.
I feel like everybody in Miami. Everybody.
Look, I'll tell you right now, every time I go and I meet someone new, they be like, I'm from Atlanta, I'm from New York, I'm from Cali, but I want to move here. And I'm like, look, it's nothing new. I know why you want to move here. I've been here. It's lit.
Back City of Dreams. So, yeah, so I definitely want to, kind of go into your story. I know that we spoke earlier this afternoon where you was kind of saying that, I mean, you did a lot, right? From Army to be a bartender. I'm like, damn, like she rich. She.
I made brief in that message. I said, look, I don't really do much, but
yeah, I was like, damn, right? So, I definitely want to get into, life before like entrepreneurship. Like, what did that look like for you? Where did you grow up? And then, we can kind of go from there.
Yeah. So, first of all, I'm super excited to be on this live. I love doing lives. I like intermingling our audiences. I like the whole interview vibe, and I definitely like getting to know you, Cam, too, as well. Like, we come from very similar network. I've heard your name a few times, so it's super dope that we get to, do collabs like this. But I come from Miami, Florida. There's a little town in Miami called Hialeah. So anytime somebody says or hears the word Hialeah, they already go like, ooh, she crazy. So that's the city that I'm from. Yes. So I grew up, I was lower class in my, my childhood, but, as my mom grinded her face off, she did really well. She supported me and my sister. And during the majority of my life, I was in middle class, so I can't say that, I financially struggled. I can't say I was wealthy. My mom was just balling on a budget. But I did get to learn a lot from her. I did get to learn a lot from how we were at a 1-bedroom apartment, 3 people, one bathroom, cockroaches everywhere, best neighborhood, to a beautiful home that my mom purchased on her own. And I just saw how, she came up. So I was like, okay, that's a great example. Long story short, I didn't feel like I didn't want my mom to work this hard for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? If she's going to grind that hard for me and my sister, I got to grind this hard for her, for my future family for, I mean, think about it. Cam, where are you from? Like, where's your parents from?
So my mom's from here. My dad actually, like, he's from Jamaica, but I grew up in a single parent household, right? So just me and my mom, so I can definitely relate where it's like your work ethic pretty much comes from like seeing your mom. And then as you get older, you start to realize all these sacrifices that they made, because now we're adulting and we got bills and stuff like that. And now we see, yo, damn, like, when she really said we had food at home, we had food at home. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a fact. And like you said, you were raised in New York. Your mom is also from New York, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Correct. So regardless, like my father came from Cuba. There's no way he left his entire life behind to make sure that I am born in a country where I can actually make it. And the government or the economy is not going to be a factor on my success, because in other countries like Cuba, like that is a big factor. Like I'm not one to give the power outside of me as to why something didn't happen. Like I'm fully responsible. I say full accountability, full responsibility, but it is different in third world countries. And for my father to leave everything behind to come over here, meet my mom, and make sure that we have a good life, that can't be the it's not going to be for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what type of life do I have to live for it to be worth it for them?
Yeah.
What type of life do I have to live in order for it to be a great example for my future kids?
Yeah.
So long story short, I didn't have nobody steering me in any direction. My mom was just like, go to school, the whole usual thing.
Regular.
I felt really like, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I felt like school was just like, this is very much common sense, aside from like history and science and stuff like that. But I'm like, this is just not fulfilling in any way, shape, or form. I was very mature for my age, so aside from chasing the bag, I was also chasing the happiness after what I'm doing. Like I don't really like moving around. I don't like moving around jobs. I don't like moving around too many things. So I'm like, what, if I'm gonna find something, it better be something I really like, and if I really like, it's gonna pay me well, and it's gonna fill the shit out of me.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Like,
I feel like that's hard to find nowadays. Something that kind of hits both buckets.
Yeah.
And personally, I feel like there's a lot of people nowadays that is either doing stuff for happiness, or they're doing stuff straight because it pays the bills. And most times, 9 times out of 10, it's because they're doing something that pays the bills, because they got to keep the roof over their head, food on the table. And now you have these people who just kind of walk around like hating life a little bit, because now they're in a situation where it's like, I don't want to do this, but I have to do this.
Yeah. 100%. And I felt the same way. Like, Cam, I didn't know entrepreneurship was a thing. Like that wasn't it. One thing is for you to know something is possible and you just don't want to do it. I just didn't know it was possible. I'm like, you either got to go up the corporate ladder and then own the business, or you just got to work for the rest of your life. And I was like, yo, like, what am I really going to do? Because I don't like either of those options. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, so I went to college because I just wanted to show my mom, like, it's not because I can't do it, it's because I don't want to. So I always had good grades, even in college. Now, I didn't finish college. Sorry, that's my partner. But I didn't finish college because, again, I just didn't want to. So I was like, okay, if not this, then what? So I got influenced to go and join the Army.
Yeah.
I want to be a badass. I want to learn how to shoot weapons. I want to learn how to maneuver. I want to learn leadership, skill, discipline. I just thought it was super hot, to be honest. So I joined it. I outperformed. I did really well. I blew the water out the park. Like I was in training with people that were in ROTC, which are people that trained for years before they joined the Army. So you know ROTC, yeah. So long story short, I wasn't in ROTC or none of that, but I was still getting certificates. I was getting promoted from boot camp to training to, actually getting posted up in Washington. Like that was great, but guess what? No freedom. I had money, no freedom. I was like, you know what? Bet. I left. I finished the army, and I was like, let's see what else we got going on. And I started getting into bartending because
Yeah.
number one, I'm beautiful, I'm a woman, and I'm confident. And number two, there's flexibility and income
Yeah.
in being a bartender.
Yeah.
But guess what?
What?
You can't look 15, 30, 22, 24 forever.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can
Remember?
smash now.
Yeah.
Correct. But I know when I'm in my 30s and I want to take life serious, like this is not going to work. So I need to think about that now. And I started diving into entrepreneurship.
Yes. Let me
So
ask you something. So, so what year is this, right? So, did you graduate college?
I did not graduate college. No.
Okay. Okay. So, and what was the reason for that? So, I'm assuming that you kind of went through college and was like, yo, listen, this is just common sense. It's not for me. I'm wasting my time here. I'm wasting my money. So then I'm assuming based on that, like, I'm just going to join the army because I have more freedom and stuff like that, right?
Correct. So what I've learned, like each phase taught me a little bit something different about myself. And I feel like that is so key. Like if you're not conscious enough to know who you are, you will never know what you want.
Mm,
And if you want
facts,
where
facts,
you're going,
facts,
you know what?
facts.
So I left college because this in my mind this was the main reason. Number one, teachers don't give a fuck about me.
Facts.
Number two, I'm very ambitious and I'm really excited about life. Nothing really has to happen today for me not to be excited. So
Yeah.
I'm going into a space where people are are dreading to come to class. They look bummy all the time. They don't give a fuck. They just want the grades. They just want to make their parents proud. But just to summarize everything, like the environment didn't fit like what I really wanted. Like I wanted to be around people that were fun,
Yeah.
exciting, ambitious, go-getters, and I wasn't going to find that in school. I joined the army. I did find an amazing community in the army,
Yeah.
and that's what I learned. I was like, okay, number one, I like freedom because that's why I left the
Yeah.
army, but number two, I also like for my environment to be fueling what I got going on. So those are the two takeaways from those two phases, and those two phases led me into obviously bartending, and bartending led me into entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Nah, that's dope. So we got somebody credit brigade. Who is this girl? Yeah. So we got Wendy, the coach, right? So those
On
don't
credit
if you
days.
don't know, now you know. Every Monday I have convos with Cam where I kind of highlight entrepreneurs. And I think social media has kind of made this like overnight success thing look cool, right? So you see this highlight reel of a lot of people having successes, driving the Lambo, stuff like that. But a lot of people don't understand that overnight successes take 5 to 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's super important, to highlight their journey because you may see Wendy now and she's doing the thing, she's making 6 figures, she's killing it, she has a whole team and stuff like that. But it took a lot, for her to get to where she's at. You know what I'm saying? So you stupid. So yeah, right. So you went to the army. After the army, right, you started bartending, and bartending kind of like led you into entrepreneurship. First off, before we get in, listen, drop some fires for Wendy. She came with the energy, right? She came with the energy. She came with the vibes. Make sure you drop some fires and show love to Wendy. And of course, if you're following me and you're not following Wendy, hit that little drop down. Make sure you follow Wendy and make sure you show her some love, please. Right. So, like I was saying, so after the army, you go into bartending, right? So now, like, what was that journey like as a bartender?
So I got a lot of pushback because I fought a lot with my family and friends to go to the army. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was like, we cannot expect this. We did not expect this. Like I even stopped talking to my dad for a little bit because he was like, look, if you go, you don't love me and you don't respect my opinion. And I'm like, I love you, daddy, but I gotta know that. I gotta know that this is gonna be for me or not. And you're not gonna find out for me. So I just gotta figure it out,
That's
you know?
tough. So I definitely want to speak on that, right? Because I feel like a lot of people, tend to do things because their parents want them to. And I think that's super hard for like your family to say, listen, I'm not gonna love you no more if you do decide to go to the army. So what made you still decide to go with that like burden on your back?
Cause they just most of the time they don't understand.
Yeah,
You know what?
yeah,
I'm not gonna I know you don't understand. You could say you understand. You could say, yo, I've been here for 50 something years. I know about experience. I know people. I know life. And I feel you and I applaud you for that. But you you're not me. I like different things. I'm here for a different reason, and I'm conscious enough to know that this ain't it. And so you're not gonna tell me what's it. I know how far you go. Like, your parents really are an example. You know what I'm saying? So I need to be a great parent, and in order to do that, I need to be a good example, because what I did to my dad is what they're gonna do to us. You know, if we don't have that right example. Like, I'm not worried about kids right now, but I'm still
Yeah.
conscious. Like, I saw how far my dad was in his 50s, and you know, he's an employee, he's a hardworking man, makes 45K a year, nothing crazy. But it's like, I can't follow you. You know what I'm saying? Like, your top is not even my bottom.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
my dad.
No disrespect. Yeah.
Yeah,
No
correct.
disrespect.
Correct. So I just I can't take what you tell me and call it the truth, because if you know, you don't know all the truth, you just know your truth, and I need to find mine. So if I don't do that, I'm just gonna be sad. I'm gonna be a sad daughter, I'm gonna be a depressed daughter, I'm gonna be a daughter, I'm gonna be a limited daughter, and that's what you don't want. So I just got to make sure that I make decisions that are going to be best for myself, and also to make you proud. And you may not be proud now, but he was super proud when I got promoted. He was
Of
super
course.
proud when he showed up into my ceremony, and I looked sharp, and all my sergeants were talking very, yep.
Nah, that's what's up. So like, first, that's super dope, right? Because especially, I think it's rare to find people that kind of go against the grain, especially with their parents, you know, and you know, with what their parents want them to do. So, you go into the army, and then you started bartending after the army, you said, right?
Yeah, correct.
Then what did you do after bartending once you realized, listen, this isn't like long term for me?
Yeah. So just to answer your last question, I got a lot of resistance being from the army as a bartender. So everybody was like, "Oh shit, congratulations!" At first, everybody was like, "Ah, you're making the wrong move." Then I started getting promoted, having a little bit of success, all that fun stuff. Then everybody's like, "Woo, yeah, let's go." Then I go to be a bartender, and then everybody's like, "Yo, you're crazy. How are you gonna go from the army to being a bartender? That's a downgrade." And I'm like, "Listen, like, you don't know what's going in my bank account, and that's not enough. You don't know what I value. I value time more than money, so that's not it for me." So I go into bartending because, number one, I believe that I had that flexibility. I'm able to switch shift, call off, do all that stuff, and I'm still able to I made more money bartending than I did my first 2 years in the army. So yeah, yeah. So like, as a P3, right, as a private 3, you're getting paid $3,000 a month.
Okay. Damn. So what is that? 36 a year.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you, like, I go through mad training. You take me out of my home, put me in another state. I got stationed in Washington State, #1 suicidal state in America. That's what they told me when I found out I was going there. And I was like, I'm gonna be super uncomfortable, give up my freedom for $3,000 a month. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, the environment is phenomenal. I learned a lot. I can run. You know, I feel like I can shoot a weapon pretty clean, but it's $3,000 a month. Remember, I'm looking for a home. I'm looking for a career. I'm looking for a lane to stay in, because I just want to find something that I can go hard.
Yeah.
So I was a bartender. I did really, really well. I did it for the money, and I did it for the flexibility. And this is where I started to learn a lot about sales. And as a bartender, learning about sales, networking. If I'm going to do sales and I'm going to network, I better get into fucking business.
Yeah. 1,000%.
Doing
1,000%. Now that's fire. So, so how long were you a bartender for? Right? Because I'm assuming it wasn't for too long.
It was actually for 3 years.
Oh shit. Okay. It's been a minute. So like, what year is this? Right? So you go through college, right? Don't finish college. You go to the army. Army's not really fulfilling. You know, it's not really paying good. You have no time, right? So you move to bartending. Of course, through that whole journey, you have a lot of heat from like your family and friends and stuff like that, which I think is super tough, especially when you have nothing to show for it in the beginning, right? So then after bartending, like, what did you do after bartending?
Yeah. So I graduated 2014 from high school. So after that, I did like a year and a half of college. Then I joined the army, and I joined IAM in 2019. So all of that was before 2019. Now, 2019, I joined a trading platform that we all know called IAM. Academy. In my opinion, I Am Mastery Academy, and not even say I Am Mastery Academy, any MLM is a phenomenal university for entrepreneurship. Any MLM, anything you say about MLM, throw it out the fucking window. Do it yourself. Pay that membership. Grow your team. Write your sales. Fucking learn that leadership. Get on those calls. Learn from people that have what you want, because all of that, even if you don't get into business, you need all of that. And no school and no job is going to introduce you to personal development and building a phenomenal network and having a teamwork like MLM did for me. And yeah, you know what, Cam, let's be real. We paid that bread every single month, but guess what? The network that we have because of I Am Mastery Academy,
invaluable. And that's why I'm on both sides, and I can see both sides, right? Because I do see the side, because I joined IM when it was IML, right? So
yeah, me too. Yeah,
2018, I believe, right? So I was still playing baseball, long story short. And that's when I learned about Think and Grow Rich. I learned about the compound effect. I learned about, like you said, personal development. And I'm around people who's talking about taxes and stuff like that. So there's a huge benefit to, multi-level marketing. I think the side that people don't like is when you have a lot of people who recruit people, and that's how they make the majority of their money, which is nothing wrong with that. But then you can't teach the people how to like make the money and how to service that debt, because at the end of the day, it's still debt, right? Because they have this monthly payment, and now you have people who are sending you to other people to learn how to trade, right? So I can kind of see both sides of it, but I definitely think it's super beneficial, especially for new entrepreneurs, right? Because now you have that teamwork. You may grow up in a family or a household where the environment isn't, that beneficial for you, right? So you have to change your environment. One of my favorite sayings is, if you want to change, if you can't change the people around you, you have to change the people who are around you, right? If you can't change like your family, your friends who are around you on the block, you have to remove yourself and change your environment. And that environment for me was my baseball teammates, and that was IML, when it was IML back then, right? So I think that's super dope, and I definitely appreciate you for highlighting that, because I think like multi-level marketing has a huge stigma against it,
Yeah, I'm not in multi-level marketing anymore, but multi-level marketing did introduce me to direct sales, and that's just my baby. I love direct sales, any type of sales, but I like direct sales because I like that person-to-person interaction, going into businesses, talking to customers. Like, I'm good at customer service. I was a great bartender, and I feel like I could sell you better when I'm talking to you, but online marketing, I mean, I'm not going to take away. Online marketing is amazing, but direct sales is powerful.
Yeah, for sure. So you join IM, of course, now you're exposed to this huge network, huge marketing. Now, what was the pivot from you from moving from IM to like what you're doing now?
What was the question again? Wait, really quickly. I see Matt Millie in the chat, and he was phenomenal. I'm so glad that I get to see his name on here. I thought
really? Okay, yeah. He just joined the Academy. Shout out to Matt.
Nice.
The game show. What up?
Popping in the chat, we got Don Cameron. Oh my God, I said it too Hispanic. My bad. I said that too Hispanic. I'm from Miami. Don't mind me. We have people saying personal development is key. Wendy, how do you practice sales on the daily? We'll definitely answer that as soon as possible. But you asked me the transition from MLM to direct sales, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I joined MLM, when I joined IM, I felt so in love with it, and so in love. Remember, before this, I did not know that, like, really, like, I did not know you could just pay yourself an LLC and affiliate marketing and referral. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
I thought that in order to own a business, you have to grow up in a business and then branch out. That was my only thing. So I got married to IM, and I'm just gonna be very vulnerable. I thought it was the only way I was gonna hit my first $1 million. I did not believe that I could do it in any other platform, because that was my first one. Is the one that introduced me to, the at the time when you sign someone up, you get like $35 and then $50.
Yeah.
So I made more money on the bonuses signing personals up than I did residually. And I fell in love with it. I did good residually too,
Yeah,
but I was more on a,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's know whatever. So long story short, you could have given me $1 million. I would have said no. If it doesn't come from this and it doesn't come from me organically, I would say no. And that's a little silly sometimes because now you tell me I'll give you $1 million, I know exactly where to put it to make
Yeah,
me more $1 million. But I saw that in myself. I was like, yo, like, if I leave this company, like, what's the chance of me making it? And I said, you know what? That's a fucking problem that I feel that way
limited.
because, I'm not really believing in myself. And I really gotta, what I did here, if I could do it here, then I know for myself that I got this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I started going into direct sales. Direct sales, is extremely lucrative. So the payout is completely different. And most MLMs are treated like a side hustle.
Yeah, that's
Direct sales is a replacement for a job. You make money every day and you treat it like a job. And it is a job, it's a 1099 opportunity, but it's not treated like a side hustle. MLM is respected, but respected like, hey, let me make extra
yeah,
income. Here in direct sales, that is your income.
yeah.
I was like, fuck it. I'm going to be around people that are going to take this shit serious. I'm going to be able to pay people. I'm going to be able to teach sales. I'm going to be able to teach leadership. And because it's so lucrative, I'm going to be able to pay a whole lot fucking more than what a comp plan can give me. So I was like, fuck it. Let's do it.
That's fire. And sales is actually like my weakest like part of like business. So I could definitely learn some stuff from you. And I definitely, kind of want you to kind of break down, some sales stuff and, some of the stuff, you could definitely answer that question as well. Like, how do you practice sales? From my perspective, I think is, just getting your reps in. It's no different than being in the gym or playing sports. You got to get your reps in, right? And I feel like the more you practice, and speaking to myself, specifically, but the more I practice, the more I get on these sales calls, the more I speak to people, the easier it becomes. You start to learn objections, how to speak to people, how to hit their pain points and stuff like that. So I definitely kind of want you to break down, some sales tips for the people.
Yeah, absolutely. So sales for me, it's really getting to know a lot about the customer and what pain or what necessity this person needs or is missing or is enduring. And if I have something that can solve that problem, then I'm just gonna do a great fucking job. But here's the thing. You can have a perfect fucking product. You can have a perfect service and people still won't buy. And it's also because they just simply don't trust you. So you gotta learn about human emotions, emotional intelligence. You do gotta know about the actual skills of selling the product. And I'm gonna be and just to put it all in a nutshell, sales is confidence. You need to have, Cam, you said this is a weak point,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it is for you, like the way that you spoke to you have a different sales style. So there's educational and then there's obviously other different types. You're very educational.
yeah,
And that route because you allow your value and your education to make me believe in you and trust you.
yeah,
And you get that I'm not gonna sell you vibe.
yeah,
The
yeah,
thing
yeah,
is, the only thing that I would do different, right, is say, what's stopping you from taking advantage of this opportunity? You need to close them.
yeah,
On that
like
call,
that.
you're going to, of course, we can give power to the person by saying, oh, okay, whenever you're ready, sure. You know what I'm saying? That's cool too.
Yeah,
But you have a goal and you know how to lead this person and you know how to get this person a result. So what the fuck are you scared of? You got to know how to close. You got to know how to close. And closing is confidence. So let me ask you something. What's really stopping you from actually taking advantage of this opportunity? I know you want to retire. I know that you have a credit score of 650, and I know with the bulletproof system I got going on, I could get you to a 700. That's a new whip, a new house, a new this, a new that. So you have all of these positive things. I just want to know what's stopping you from taking advantage today.
yeah,
Is it the money? Is it they're gonna give you a bunch of rejections and you gotta be able to handle them and with confidence, not because I want the sale, but because listen, I know what's gonna happen if you pay
yeah, yeah,
more than what you paid for. So let's get it. So being a closer, being confident, and selling something that is going to provide solutions. Sometimes, here's the little sauce. Sometimes
The sazon.
the song, sometimes people don't know they need it until you sell them. And when
I,
you sell them, you improve their quality of life. And that's all I want to do. The only reason why I'm direct and I really want to work with you and I really want to do this, and that. And yeah, it may cost you X amount, X amount, X amount. But in the end of the day, I know I'm going to improve your quality of life. That's going to make me happy. That's going to make you happy. That's going to make your kids happy. So what's stopping you today?
Nah, that's heat. Yo, listen, drop some fires in the chat for Wendy. She gave me a little coaching session real quick. I know you guys could definitely, benefit from some of the gems she dropped. Drop some fires, drop some gems for Wendy. And of course, like I always say, make sure you hit that drop down. If you're following me and you're not following Wendy, especially after, she just sauced it up real quick, make sure you follow her. Now that's super dope. But now that's facts though, because there's a lot of businesses that need what I have to offer, right? And like you said, like I have something that could change their lives, right? So I'm doing a disservice if I don't pitch it to them, right? And then one thing I learned about sales too is like you have to sell how you like to buy, right? I don't like to buy when like a person is super salesy, right? So just think about it. When you walk into Foot Locker, as soon as you walk into Foot Locker, you're already like, nah, I'm just looking. They don't even say nothing to you. And you're like, nah, I'm just looking, right? Because you already feel salesy. But if they're guiding, hey, listen, what you looking for today? Looking for a cool kid, Jordans for your son or, for, I don't know, your girl, something like that. Now it's more of like guiding them instead of like selling them and being, too aggressive, right? But now that was definitely fire. Then that was right. So I think somebody asked, what are you direct selling?
So we own a direct sales and marketing company. And so our company, what they do is we have a bunch of clients like telecommunication companies. You guys may know some of them. There's different security systems, solar program, government programs. So we have multiple services and products that we sell to the community. But as of right now, our most popular campaign is the government program where we're offering free internet to the community. So you nothing monthly, nothing annually, and you get free internet wherever you go, and it comes in the form of a tablet or a phone. So this is dope because all y'all entrepreneurs need a business phone. But what happens if you don't have to pay for that phone or pay for the phone line or pay for the internet? You just got service, right? It's all through a government program, all government funded for entrepreneurs, people that make under 60K a year, people that also need it if they really do need it. They'll reach out to one of our reps, reach out to myself, we'll give them more information or whatever. But we have agents I have an agent right now, shout out to Stephanie on this call, who made $1,000 last week on some light work. And I'm talking about she's in New York, single mom, has the kid, takes her daughter everywhere and shows her daughter real hustle. I know they're going through some stuff at home and she's still making it look so easy. $1,000 a week consistently just by going out there and providing free internet, government programs, and that girl's a monster. And I'm talking about
for Steph. Drop some hearts for Steph in the chat. Make sure she feels the love. Six-figure Steph, I think that's you. Drop some hearts for Steph.
Yep.
Man,
yep.
That's I'm about to drop some.
We got agents making $300, $500, $700 days. All right, we got people making $1,000 a week, $2,000 a week. We got market managers making $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month in their first freaking year in direct sales. This is also a low ticket item. So imagine if you were selling a high ticket item like solar and stuff like that. That shit would be out the roof. But what I'm trying to say here is, regardless of the great money you make in sales, it's the fucking skill sets that you learn. Because tell me if I'm wrong, Cam, at some point you want to be valuable enough to charge 5 bands for your mentorship. Tell me.
Now, that's a fact.
Correct. Listen, you can have phenomenal system, phenomenal marketing, phenomenal results, but they won't buy if you don't know how to close, if you don't know how to make them trust you, if you don't know how to build rapport, if you don't know how to read a person, if you don't know how to ask questions, if you don't know how to handle rejection, right? If you don't know how to lead people. So long story short, you know, it's such a phenomenal opportunity, and the skill sets that you learn is going to take you anywhere across the board. So I very much believe in direct sales.
Nah, that's dope. Yeah, but and yeah, so we said, in my opinion, direct sales is limited because you still need to recruit people to increase the money you make. So what would you say to that?
Okay. No. Let's point that out. In any business, you have the option to recruit. In
Hmm.
any business, you got Lyft, they got a referral program. You got Amazon, they got a referral program. All these referral program is recruiting. Okay? And any business, there's a referral program because most business models make money off of word of mouth, whether it's recruiting or direct
Yeah,
sales.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
effective and efficient way for a business to make most of their money. Now, in direct sales, just like MLM and just like a job, because you can also refer people and recruit at a job, they're just not going to pay you for it. That's, that's
Let's
the
be
only
real.
difference.
Let's
But
be real.
yes, in direct sales, you don't have to recruit to make money. That's not true, okay? But you can make so much more money if you recruit. Think about it like this. Just think about it like this. I'm gonna blow your minds, right?
Talk to
If,
him. Talk.
if you work, listen, you can only work so many hours at your job, at your MLM, at your opportunity. It does not matter. You can only work so many hours. So let's say the maximum hours you could put on an opportunity is 80 hours a week. And that's fucking crazy. 80 hours a week, like you sacrifice at everything but sleep and but going to the bathroom to go what you got to do. And if you do that, you're not going to be able to do that for too long, right? But if you have two people in your team, three people in your team, if they work 80 hours and I work 80 hours and two more people are working 80 hours, all together, you guys worked a massive amount of hours that only one person could not do.
Yeah.
And so it's not even about the money, it's about the time that you save, it's about the experience that you create with people instead of doing it by yourself. I built a market by myself. That shit sucked. But when I built market with leaders, oh,
Yeah. It's different. It's different because you don't have to teach them. Like, they're hungry, so you're just like almost duplicating yourself in a way, right?
yeah.
So now if you're closing 5 to 10 people a day, they're closing 5 to 10 people a day. You know, just a domino effect. So I think that's super dope. Now that's super fire. So one question I definitely want to ask you is, like, I think on the journey to or yeah, the journey in entrepreneurship, we kind of go through a lot, right? So what was like a super low point, for you that you kind of overcame that you didn't think you were gonna overcome when it first happened, right? Whether it was a loss, whether I don't know, like um usually with IM, you lost a leg or something like that, and now you have to, start from square one. So what was that moment for you?
Yeah. I'm gonna answer that. I do
Yeah, if you
see
want to
you
address that. Yeah,
out,
yeah, yeah.
um outdated model. Nobody really sells anything face to face anymore. You need teams to really scale it. So I'm gonna be honest with you, Shoni. Like there is some truth in what you're saying. It's just we're wearing two different glasses. I see
Like,
that what you just said as a great opportunity. You're saying it as if it's like a waste of time, which it's all preference. We're all wearing different glasses.
yeah,
I say it's full. I say the cup is full. You say the cup is empty. It's up to you how you want to look at the cup. But you said direct sales is an outdated model. It's not an outdated model. There's certain campaigns that we cannot do online due to compliance reasons because the people funding the campaign do not allow online marketing because you can't collect information
yeah,
like that online because it'll make it illegal. So we have to do direct sales, right? So direct sales is for different types of campaigns, different types of business models. And also, would you rather have one stream of marketing or 7 streams of marketing? What's going to explode your business more? So big companies have multiple streams of marketing. They have online marketing, they have commercial marketing, they have affiliate marketing, they also have direct sales. They have a sales force that's out there because, for example, let's say solar. You can't really sell solar online. Nobody wants to buy solar. You have to be convinced that, hey, solar is a great idea. And the best way to convince, and I wouldn't say convince, but just help someone understand the value of this product or service, you have to be there in person. Now you can do it online, but you're not going to have the same success. So companies spend a lot of money on on companies like us. So you have companies like T-Mobile or AT&T spend a lot of money to hire agents like us to sell on the ground floor because it makes a huge difference in addition to their online commercials and sales and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say it's outdated. It's a very lucrative market. It's only for a specific type of people. It's not for everybody. I do door to door. I do door to door. I fucking do door to door, man. There's nothing I cannot sell, but not a lot of people that are willing to do door to door. You know what I'm saying? It is tough. It is hard. Nobody wants to open a door and not know what's on the other side. I'm just a savage. I like on the other side. I like to test myself. Like, there's nothing on the other side of that door that's going to take me out of my element and that's going to take me away from what I'm aiming for. And if it does, that's just reps. That's just practice. Like, okay, go ahead, scream at me. Let's see how I can overcome this in the most best way I possibly can. And every day, I'm sharpening up that mindset. I sharpen up those skill sets. I get that emotional intelligence, all that fun stuff. But I wouldn't say it's an updated model. It just has to do with the type of business and how they're looking to market and what's the most effective, efficient way to do that. So I just wanted to go ahead and share that out there with you guys. Sales is amazing. It doesn't matter direct sales, online market, whatever. Sales is phenomenal. Just learning. And Cam, to answer your question, biggest challenge, it is an inventory-based business. I do remember having a streak of just straight inventory loss. Like, I'm talking about $7,000 loss in a week. I'm talking about, you know, people just not returning inventory not accounted for. And I did not know, like, mind you, you take those losses, your check goes to those losses, but you still got to pay office rent. You still got to pay. We had 3 admins. We had one for inventory, one for onboarding, and a personal assistant. We had 3 people that we hired. So that we still got to pay those people. So you take a fat loss, you go to a whole month and a half without getting paid, and you still got to pay your bills. You still got to pay your business expenses. So that shit was crazy. I also had a, huge drop in how many people I've had in my office. And that definitely took a toll on my volume. That took a toll on, like, I was like, damn, my leadership sucks. Like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so true. Like, but those things need to happen, and you do need to and you do need to look inside and ask yourself those questions, because if you don't, you're just not going to improve. So I decided to just take full responsibility. I said, yo, this downtrend fucking hurts. I'm not gonna lie, but most people quit at this point. I ain't no quitter, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna lie, I do have a partner that I do this business with, and it's so amazing to have an accountability partner, so amazing to have a support partner, so amazing to have somebody to be like, look, I feel you, but we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
That also played a huge role, but that downtrend didn't end for quite some time. I did have to really, like, work on my mindset to get out of that, because it does take a toll on you. Nonetheless, you know, right now, I'm glad I went through all of that. We have so much momentum right now. It just makes me feel like all of that was absolutely worth it.
Nah, for sure. Nah, that was dope. Listen, once again, drop some fires for Wendy. Listen, Wendy came with the energy today. She came with the energy, the vibe. She came with the people too, right? We packed out this live a little bit. And it's super dope, right? Because I could definitely see that, you know, the females who, you know, have joined the live are definitely getting something out of this. Right?
I'm glad. I love my females.
Nah, for sure, right? And I think, you know, we definitely have to have a lot more females on here, you know, like yourself, because I think it's super important, you know, for them to see, you know, somebody of your stature, you know, somebody of your level, and see, like, listen, I can be in her position as long as I kind of, you know, follow her footsteps. So, of course, if you want to get into direct sales, you know, definitely reach out, you know, to Wendy. Wendy will definitely take care of you. As you can see, you know, she's probably somebody, not probably, she's somebody super dope to work with, you know, because of the fact, you know, we got Steph on here. Steph's doing the thing. Shout out to Steph once again. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's super dope. So what do you got going on right now? So, like, you know, what's like a day in the life of Wendy nowadays?
So a great productive day, because, you know, our field is very sporadic. But a great productive day would be getting up, praying out loud. I want to pray out loud. I usually do it inside my head, but I feel like there's a lot of power in praying out loud into yourself and just, voicing things, like actually talking it. So I go ahead and I'll do that. Meditate, read, work out. When I'm done, take a little shower. I do want to do some content before I hit the field. When I hit the field, I'm either training somebody, or I'm going out there and getting my bag, or I'm hiring, or I'm looking for events so that way my team can eat. Once I do that, I go back home and I just have fun. Honestly, like, Cam, I'm gonna tell you something right now, because you a grinder, and there was so many things that I would sacrifice, but one thing that I will not sacrifice is having fun at the end of the day. Even a little piece of fun, like get lazy at the end of the day, play your video game, smoke your tree, whatever you want to do, like relax, like every day, not all the time, but just have that 1 or 2 hours at the end of the day to be like, yo, I had a great fucking day. I'm with my boo. I'm cuddling. I'm watching movies. Like, we could study. We're going to study. We'll find some time. You have days off throughout the week. You have an hour throughout the week to do that. But, if you don't have fun, you're stopping yourself from learning about yourself, and you're always evolving. So you always got to learn about yourself. What didn't trigger me before is going to may trigger me now. And if it triggers me now, it's because I gotta fix it. But I wouldn't be able to fix it if I'm burying myself in all this work and not spending time to myself or with myself and who I like, and not knowing, okay, Wendy, now I know that you like freedom, so we're not gonna have a job that's gonna stop you from freedom. Okay, Wendy, you value money, great, so we're not gonna stick with a job that's gonna make us whack ass money. We're not gonna be with a client that's not gonna pay you what you're freaking worth. Like,
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
And you wouldn't know that if you don't have fun with yourself. And shit, I never used to watch a movie, and I didn't watch a movie. I've sacrificed fun, and I was like, yo, I'm looking around, I'm like, yo, where are my friends? Like, I'm bored now. It's not working, so that's definitely the day in the life of a Wendy. But it's truly just having fun, honestly. Make money and have fun. Even if you're not having a lot of money, still have a lot of fun. Just be responsible.
Nah, facts. Nah, that's super dope. Listen, so before we get off here, listen, you dropped a lot of gems. I definitely love your story. I definitely think a lot of people can learn from it, especially, from your sales tactics, and then, just kind of going against the grain and not really listening to your family and going with your heart, and like the direction that, kind of fulfills you. I know we definitely have a lot of females on here, a lot of female bosses. So what's some advice that you can kind of give to them, based on your own experience, or something that you may see, in most females that's kind of stopping them from getting to that next level?
So I love this question. The reason why I love this question is because I'm number one, like, I do love working with females. There's just something powerful about it. Like, let's be real, ladies. Like, if myself and 3 other bad boss ladies are we're all together, we're all grinding, we're all doing sales, we're all making 6 figures, we all got 6-figure rings, we're all flaunting like whatever. Like, that is sexy. That is powerful. That does something to your confidence. So I love working with women, but I'm not on the difference between women and male, and we're poor, and like women male, like but what I would have to say for all my ladies, I can give you a bunch of business advice, but what I would say is, like, you need to know how to turn your alpha woman on and off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a sales tactic. And guys, I'm not just in sales. Like, I love recruiting. I love building teams. I love coaching. I love developing. I'm solution oriented. So you can't talk to me about your problems unless you're ready to listen to logic. So, but, I would say that you need to know how to turn off your alpha woman and know how to turn it on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to know when to use your feminine power and feminine energy and feminine all that stuff. I don't like to sound corny or whatever. I just don't know how. I don't have another word for it. But You know, you need to know how to use that to your advantage. When you're networking, it's not time to turn your alpha woman on. Like, be yourself, be funny, be sweet, be cool, right? You don't got to talk about yourself so much. Just let them talk about themselves. Meet them at a level where you're both comfortable. Like for example, like, I don't ever make Cam feel like he got a chance. You know, that's just an example,
Yeah,
right? I'm talking to Cam like he's my boy. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to go all across the board. You know, if someone ever tries to cross a little boundary, they're just
yeah,
testing to see how far you can go. But don't turn off. Like, just be like, you know, I have a partner. No, it's okay. You know, honestly, I just like making friends.
yeah,
Honestly, that's what it is. And if they can get that and you know, start building on a relationship on a good level, on a partnership level, you can go really far. Obviously, if they cross boundaries, you just got to be a boss and just be like, listen, I don't think you
yeah.
get the
Yo,
point. Available, so bye. But know how to turn it on, know how to turn it off. When I am mentoring, when I'm coaching, when I'm putting deals together, I am alpha woman, but I still know how to shut the fuck up and let the deals, you know, do stuff. You know, I don't over talk. I don't try, yeah, you know, don't be afraid if that's not what we
yeah,
doing. But when it's time to be cute and be great and you know, be a good listener, like, that's women power right there. Being nurturing, like, not in a flirtatious way, but in
yeah,
a, look, I hear you 100%. I understand why you feel that way. Let me ask you something. And then I'll ask some questions. All of that is going to get you to bigger rooms. All of that is going to get you into, you know, some really amazing partnerships with other women and men who want to connect you with other women.
yeah.
Um, and my last thing is just be a great leader. Know how to lead yourself before you lead others. If you know how to lead yourself, you can lead others. If you don't know how to lead yourself, you cannot lead others. So working on leading on yourself. Lead yourself. Lead yourself.
Man, listen,
You know?
listen. Wendy came with the AK today. Listen, drop some gems in the chat for Wendy. She came spraying with the extendo clip. Listen, drop some gems in the chat for Wendy. I think it's super important what you said. And then from the flip side, I think from a male perspective, I think us as men need to I don't want to say set the boundary, but understand how powerful it is when you have a female on your team, right? And I think a lot of men don't understand the power of having platonic relationships with females, and they can't do that because their ego or whatever the case may be, right? But I think it's super important to have, because I think women like yourself bring so much to the table, right? And you have all these guys who are super immature, and you know they kind of want to throw that out the window just to see if they have a chance and stuff like that, and it kind of hurts their bag long term, right? Because I think like having a lot of females also brings other boss ladies around who are doing their thing and who can get in rooms that you can't get in,
Yeah.
right? So and I think it's super important, right? So us as men have to understand that, like, yo, one, first the boundary thing, and two, like, there's a lot of money that you can make with females as long as you keep it
Yeah.
business. You know what I'm saying? So I
Correct.
think that's important. I think
Yeah.
that's
And to piggyback off of that, before we end the call, that is very true. Like, you know, if, like, women are beautiful, you know what I'm saying? So for a man, it would be smart, at least for marketing purposes, to have women around you, and that makes a man look more powerful when he has a bunch of women around. You know what I'm saying? There's that makes the man look very attractive in business, outside of business. So just having a group of intelligent women, not bimbos, because they be there. I still friend with bimbos, because you know that's not what you want to
yeah,
surround with. Nonetheless, like, as a man, you need to know when to highlight a woman in a certain time of business. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, for example, Cam, let's say you're about to do $100 million business, right? And that woman is the one that's doing the deal with you, right? You want to be able to say, hey, I'm Cam, I'm the business owner, I'm the one doing business with you, but I want to introduce you to one of my partners, Wendy. You know, she's been able to have massive success because, you know, a woman is going to connect to another woman. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Or let's say another man, you know, this man, I don't want to dive into the colors, but do you know about the colors? The red,
Nah,
the green.
uh-uh.
All right. So a red, listen,
Talk about
it's super cool. This is going to change your life then. If you don't know about the colors, you're going to learn about the colors. Okay,
it.
look how dope this is. A red is somebody that is ambitious, goal oriented, very solution oriented, and cares more, a little bit more. They may be family oriented, but they're willing to put it all aside to get to the goal.
Okay.
Okay, they're very goal oriented. Reds, okay, very ambitious and just very like focused. Okay,
male, like
male and female. Correct. Now, a green is somebody that's systematic, analytical, money oriented. Money oriented. They're very they're gonna ask you all these analytical questions like, hey, I know I'm new to trading, but can you tell me about the Fibonacci? Like, we're in an intro, bro. How you asking Fibonacci's and we're in an intro? Because he's a green.
Yeah.
He's analytical. He's thinking about these things. You know what I'm saying? Statistical. These are the greens, okay? Then we have the yellows. The yellows are people that I don't care about money. All I care about is the people. I'm doing it for the people. Nonprofits. I do this for free because it's fulfilling. I am broke, but I don't care because I'm living my best life because I care about people and the community and the environment. Right? And then last but not least, you have the blues. The blues are fucking fun. They like to go out. They like to have fun. I don't give a fuck about the money. As long as I can have fun, we lit.
Yeah.
Right? And so as a saleswoman, I like to ask questions that are going to tell me a little bit about you. Mm-hmm. So if I ask, what's your goal? And you tell me, I want to change the world. Okay, you're probably a yellow.
Yeah, yellow. Uh-huh.
But if I tell you I just want to retire and I want to make a lot of money and I want to retire my parents and I want to live my best life, what am I?
Probably red.
I'm a red, yeah. And what if I tell you, bro, I just want and reds are also a little bit materialistic as well, but blues are also very materialistic because they have fun in the cars and, you know, that's the fun, you know what I'm saying? Like flaunting the fun. Those are the blues. So if I say, bro, honestly, my dream is just to have like a bunch of cars and I just see myself having a lot of friends and I'm family oriented and I want a bunch of barbecues. He's probably a blue. He wants fun. He wants to just enjoy the shit out of everything. He don't give a fuck about money and he don't care too much about everything else. And if I say, so like, you know, what's your goal? And you tell me, well, I want to own my own engineering company. I'm probably going to, after a few questions, I'm going to come to a conclusion that you agree.
Yeah.
And then I talk to you better. Right? I know what to say based on the type of color that you are. And I'm always going to repeat that. So if you're a blue, I'm sorry, if you're a yellow, I'm going to, throughout the entire intro, throughout the entire conversation, I'm going to talk about the lives that I changed. I'm going to talk about how we can change lives. I'm going to talk about how what we do can change lives. I'm going to talk about everything that has to do with what a yellow wants to hear. Right? So all I'm saying, just to, you know, get back to the point, like, knowing these colors are definitely going to help, but just highlight a woman when you know it's a good time to do it. A woman is a great superpower. Nonetheless, my beautiful women, you got to let the man do the work. But what I mean about that is because if men are great negotiators. Most business owners are men. And so it exists, and this is the reality. There's a lot of men that they love women, but they don't see them like a boss. You can have everything that makes you and confirms that you're a boss, but a man probably won't see you that way because however, whatever glasses they're, it doesn't matter whether it's religion, upbringing, trauma, whatever. There's certain glasses that might not allow another man to see what you're trying to say. So you leverage another man. Like I leverage my partner to make the deal, to close the deal. You just, you know, if both genders know how to use each other, that'd be great. You know, here's another thing, Cam. Last thing. If someone does not trust you, okay, men trust women more than they trust other men, as far as like strangers, because nurturing and open. And why do you feel that way? Oh, I understand. No, 100%, I get it. Versus a man, he gonna be like, no, bro, I get you, bro, I get you, no, 100%. But you know what? We gotta keep going up to the top, like, you know, like,
different.
Women are very more empathetic. I'm having like a tongue twister. Empathetic So somebody that may not trust you, but you want to do a deal with them, I'll say, hey, look, I actually want to introduce you to a boss lady of mine. She's had a lot of success. I know you've had a lot of doubts about doing this business. So I really want you to just connect to one of my females, and I'm gonna go over here and network a little bit, whatever the situation is. But the woman is gonna get more information that he would give you, because men, ego, alpha, whatever, and your woman, your partner or your business partner is just going to report to you and say, hey, look, I could tell that he's a little insecure about the structure of your business, you know, and that's just something he would have said to her, or she would have picked up because she's a great listener, versus, you know, something like that. But that's you know, that would be a powerful, you know, sales tactic or whatever. But women, we're very emotional. We're very emotional, and we need to find somebody that's going to hold the mirror and say, bitch, you're being emotional. Sorry for my word, but you're emotional. Like, this is not logic. You have to have a lot of logic in business. That's why my partner is a pillar in my success, because he's a man. And when I'm emotional, and it's normal because we, you know, for all reasons, we're emotional. You know what I'm saying? It's great to have a man to just be like, I'm logical, and this is how you're thinking, and this is the reality, and the best thing to do is that. And I'll be like, I don't want to do that, but fuck it.
Yeah. Nah, shout out to him for sure. Nah, I think, you know, yo, damn, this live is fire. Just because, like, I love these topics, because I feel like they're not talked about enough, you know, especially like the man female dynamic, right? Shout out to my girl. She's not an entrepreneur, but she like balances me out a lot, because I'm always go, I'm doing this, yo, I gotta do this, I got mad anxiety sometimes, and she's like, yo, hey, chill, don't worry, we're gonna get there, you know. So she kind of balances me out, and I think it's super dope. And you know, going back to my point when it comes to males and females, I think that men tend to, like, we live in this like city boy era and stuff like this, but I think there's a lot of power with having like a solid partner by your side. Because me, you know, from my perspective, I think it's dope, you know, for me to have my girl, because I want to plan my future with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to spend the rest of my life with her, and it makes my life a lot easier because I don't have to worry about that part of my life so much, and I could just focus on what I'm good at, and knowing that like she's there to kind of nurture me and stuff like that. And I think a lot of males don't take advantage of having a female like that, but they take advantage of them. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, shit ends up hitting the fan, and now, you know, this all hell breaks loose. So I think a solid female, and the right female is a good backbone for you, especially as an entrepreneur, especially as a high level entrepreneur, right? So shout out to you, because I definitely know that you hold him down, vice versa. You know, shout out to all the dope females out there, you know, who's, you know, holding it down, not only for men, but for themselves as well.
Can I ask something? Yeah. This is for the chat too. The chat got to answer.
Okay.
But I'll ask you something. You ready?
Of course. Come on.
Do you believe the woman is the prize or the man is the prize?
Yo,
go ahead, stop in the chat.
Funny, I sent something to my girl the other day, right? Now, if you were to ask me that same question last year, I'd probably say the man, right? Just because of my perspective. Right now, I think it's neither. I think it's the unity when they come together. I think the prize is learning how to work together where you guys can kind of complement each other. Somebody said woman. Yeah, so like I said, I think it's neither. Like I said, I think the prize is coming together and working together, right? So there's no like 50-50.
Politically correct stuff. What's the answer?
Yeah, look, listen, you gotta choose one or the other. You cannot say both.
Now, listen, I personally don't think that it's either. I would say the man.
Okay, hold on.
Only because, what can I explain though?
Only because what?
Only because I think it's much harder to find a solid man than it is to find like a pretty female, right? That's just my opinion. I think it's much harder to find a man that's going to hold you down, that's going to provide, that's going to protect the way that a man is supposed to. And I think it's much easier to find a female because, right, just think about it. Men who are established, if you want to call them high value, whatever the case may be, he could walk in a spot, he could pick up any female he wants for the most part. The other way around is not really like that. It's very hard for a female to find a solid man that's gonna learn how to, protect them, provide, learn their love language and stuff like that. Like that's a whole nother conversation, right? So that's just my opinion. He probably thinks the man too. I hear him in the back, right? But yeah. So what's your opinion on that? I
So,
want your.
so yeah, both of them together, obviously, unity, more powerful. That's literally the best thing ever. But, but, if it were to be one or the other, you're 100% right. The man is the prize. The man is the prize just because, like you said, it is harder to find a quote unquote high value man than there is to find a bad bitch or a successful
Sure.
woman. And
Qué
um
linda.
you're funny. Yo, how you see some Spanish? What
Play baseball. I play baseball. All through my life.
I so,
I chill with
so because you plays baseball, you a little bit Dominican. We'll just
it.
say that.
Soy dominicano. Soy
You can
dominicano. Soy de San Pedro de Macorís.
pass. You can pass.
Trust me, I know. I
You
was nice and bald.
do really good Spanish.
Yo soy un bachatero. Un
Okay.
cambio. Listen, play with it. Don't play with it, Wendy. Don't play with it.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, 100%. The man is the prize.
She said,
Women.
no.
Yeah, now women have to know how to tap into being a woman. They know, like, in the beginning, I was not on some, like, I'm gonna, the whole, I'm gonna cook for you, clean for you. That was not me. That was never gonna be me. But obviously I happened to find a really great guy that allowed me, put me in a position to be able to experience that feminine. Like, when you have someone that's holding you down, you have a little bit of room to now start exploring your feminine energy, because you're not always alpha. You're not always trying to figure out how to survive because somebody's there just being a man. My man's manly. My man pays all the bills. He don't need to, but he do so. And because of that, I'm able to, not that I do it, it's in my blood to always work hard to be my best. But if I can chill a little bit and spend more time on self-care, spend more time on cooking, spend more time learning these things that are going to provide for the family. Because in the end of the day, all of these women that are like, I don't want to cook, I don't want to clean, I don't want to, it's not even for your man. It's for when you have kids. Like, what are you going to do when you don't know how to cook?
I didn't even
What are
think
you
about
gonna
it.
Yeah, what are you gonna do when you're not a neat person, and then you have a bunch of baby yous that are seeing you are not neat, so then they're not neat, and then they can't get a girl and they can't get a guy because they're not neat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even about the man, it's about you being able to be a phenomenal woman in all these areas. And it's fucking hard. Like, before, women just had to be housewives, but now women have to be housewives and boss
Yeah,
ladies.
yeah.
So that's
It's tough.
hard.
Tough.
But women do need to, it's statistically proven that women are more happier being at home. It's just something egotistical that now we're like, nah, we too good for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We
Yeah,
outside.
yeah. I'm building the business.
Yeah.
I'm hitting my figures. I'm having a great time. But there's no better feeling than being at home, just chilling and having a good time, even cleaning my crib, like seeing it all neat after. Like, that's really, really a sweet experience for me. And I feel like that's true because I'm a girl and I like neat shit. You know what I'm saying? Girls are neat unless you're not raised that way, but that's fine too. But the man is the prize. The man is the prize. We gotta learn how to keep a man. The man chooses to keep the woman or not, but we gotta be the woman that he wants to choose to be kept. You know what I'm saying? So, man is the prize. Shout out to all my men. Shout out to all my hard workers out there.
Yeah.
You getting your, us looking real nice with your hard work ethic, and don't let nobody treat you bad. And for all my girls, we got to know how to be alpha, but we got to know how to turn that shit off, because if not, you're just gonna, it's in our DNA to be some type of way. And if you turn that off, you're just turning off your natural state of being. And that could stop you from really tapping into your biggest potential.
Nah, for sure. Yo, listen, you can't end it no better than that. Wendy, I appreciate this. So once again, if you're still on here, drop some gems in the chat for Wendy. Drop some gems in the chat just for yourself. Listen, drop some gems in the chat for yourself, for you guys rocking out with us, staying on here. As always, listen, this is Convos with Cam. I do this every Monday at 7 p.m. Definitely looking for a lot more female bosses, because to be honest, this was my favorite episode just because we kind of talked about everything, your journey. We had a lot of females in here. I definitely know a lot of inspiration, a lot of gems for them and myself, and I just think it was super dope, right? So once again, make sure you hit that drop down. Make sure if you're not following Wendy and you're following me, make sure you tap in. Go show her some love. you know, go tell her, listen, I love the live you did with Cam, you know, show love, this and that. Monday, do you have any last words for the people on here before we jump on? Before we kick off?
Nah, I appreciate you for having this live. I actually used to do lives like this on Saturdays. I stopped like 2 years ago, but I did it for a very long time. I grew my following and I have a great network now. So keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you giving the opportunity for people to talk to you. And trust me, this live movement that you have is gonna really, really, really reward you. The longer you do it, the bigger the reward. Okay? So
for sure. And you know, like a lot of people don't know, but one thing I struggle with is my speech, right? So like growing up, I had a growing up, right? So I'm just getting my reps in. And this, like, it's super nerve-wracking for me. Like, you just see me 6:55. Okay, fuck, I got my ring light. I got this going. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to practice live, make sure shit look good, right? So, you know, this is me kind of getting out of my comfort zone. But it's what's needed, because if I would have let that stop me, then you wouldn't have jumped on my live and we wouldn't have been able to give the game and share the experiences, the stories, the sales stuff, and everything else in between, right? So I think that's super dope. And if you're watching this, listen, sometimes you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Because that's where growth lies, right? So I got nothing else to say.
We gotta get you to be a closer. You're a great person.
I'm about to. Trust me.
We gotta get you closing because you have a good service. You have a great service. I feel like it makes sense. I know where you know it doesn't make sense, and I like that you didn't drive me in a way that didn't make sense for but could have made sense for you. Yeah. So we just gotta get you to be a closer, and you're gonna be able to close anybody with a 5K. You know what I'm saying? Or hire a closer. Look, Don Cameron, he's a closer. So you hire somebody like him to close for you, it's a wrap. I'm just saying. If he's not a closer, then let's not talk about that. But if he's really a closer, you can hire. That's what big companies hire us, because we're closers. So
I've seen that. There's some dude named Mike Barron. He has some shit called the Closer School, where like he puts closers into your business for a commission. And sales, I think, is one of the best things to do, because a lot of people like myself may need to utilize that, right? So that's a whole nother income right there. But Wendy, I know you're super busy, right? I'm gonna let you go. Listen, I appreciate you once again, more than you know. We definitely may have to do a part 2 and run this back, right? But yo, I definitely appreciate you. You guys have a great rest of your night.
Good one. Bye.